and I ran so far away, couldn't get away. Hello and welcome to the next episode of Matt and Todd Go to the Movies with special guest Tim Davis. This is the podcast where all three of us went and saw a movie at our local Regal Cinema Theater, and now we're going to talk about it. In my time to pilot right after the movie in the parking structure, we're going to talk about such things as, should you see this movie? Should you not see this movie? Should you bring friends or a date? Should you go by yourself? Can you bring your kids? Should you snack, nap, or craft? Can you slack off, or do you need to pay attention to everything you're watching to catch all the clues and the Easter eggs? You know, some of it, none of it, all of it. You know, we try. I am Todd Domer.
And I'm Matt Malloy, and we are here to talk about the movie called Weapons. This movie is a movie with a story and characters.
Well done.
Thank you. Tim, who's in this movie?
Oh, there are some recognizable names in this. We've got Julia Garner is the teacher in this movie. She's most recently been some big hits. She was in Fantastic Four as the Silver Surfer, and we saw her as the wife in Wolfman. So she's been on the radar lately with some stuff. Josh Brolin is in this, and of course he's been around forever, but going way back to the Goonies, and of course more recently Thanos in the Avengers movies. I mean, you name it. He's been, my gosh, in tons of stuff over the years. I wouldn't say he's a household name, but Alden Ehrenreich shows up in this as the cop in town. He was probably most famously the young Han Solo in the Han Solo movie that came out a few years ago. And then we have Benedict Wong shows up and that is Wong from the Doctor Strange movies in Marvel MCU. And I'd say that's it for the recognizable. There's a couple of cameos, but not big parts, I would say, for a couple people. And then the director of this is the same director who did Barbarian.
Yes.
Barbarian, which we liked a lot. Well, what is Weapons all about? Okay, so the premise of this is that 17 students from the same class at an elementary school, third graders, disappear. They leave their houses all at the same time and run off into the darkness in the middle of the night. 17 out of 18 students in this class. And so then we are left to wonder and watch as the movie unfolds what has happened to these kids. And the story is told in a different way than most movies. You follow a character for a while and hear kind of their story. We get the teacher of that classroom, we get the dad of one of the parents, we get a cop who's been around town, we get a druggie. So you get all these different kind of perspectives and see how they intersect. And then all of that culminates in all of those people being basically in the same place at the same time for the conclusion of the movie, where you kind of figure out what happened to these kids and why maybe and how certainly. So that's what I'll say about that. Todd, your thoughts on the movie Weapons?
Well, I'm going to start by something we experienced tonight that did not enhance our movie viewership, which was about the 20 minutes of commercials. That started everything. I mean, typically it's start the trailers, midway through the trailers, you get a couple commercials, and then trailers, and then we're off to the races. This one was a solid 15 minutes. I mean, we clocked it. It was like 15 minutes of commercials.
8 p.m. showtime. The movie actually started at 8:30.
Yeah, I mean, like, just woof. Like, it's already hard to get people to the theaters, and this is your strategy? Like, come on.
And you're talking to someone here, at least in me, I love trailers myself.
Yeah, trailers are fine.
But let's get to the trailers here.
And I get it. We got to have some commercials.
Yes,
I get it. But that many? I mean, it was probably like 6 or 7 commercials just back to back to back.
Yep.
I mean, like, it was crazy.
Way more than usual. More noticeable than usual.
Yeah. So, that started this movie on the wrong point for me, which is not the movie's fault.
Not the
I won't blame the movie for that. But, okay. So, I will have to say there's a lot of good things about this movie. I thought it's a very interesting story. It's kind of original. Like, you know, like, that's kind of like the nice thing about it. And the nice thing that I think we liked about Barbarian was that you just you don't know what you're getting into, and then all of a sudden you're going. I thought the performances in this movie were really good.
I agree.
Plenty of good acting, plenty of jump scares, some practical effects, some makeup. Like, I thought all that was fine and was good. I thought that the conclusion of the movie, I liked the conclusion of the movie, I think. But it's I'm going to be dissecting it for a while. So I'm landing on I liked it right now. We'll see how I feel about it in a couple days. But and so, yeah, I think there's a good story here. There's some really good camera work. Like, there's some really good, a lot of over the shoulder shots,
and
like
behind people.
Yeah, like and I thought the placement of the sets and everything in it was really good. Like, I just thought all that stuff was really good. My only complaints about the movie is I thought the pacing of the movie was not the greatest. Like, I mean, basically it's like an anthology movie where you hear, I don't know, 6 people's stories, like, and I was, by the time we got to the third person, I was like, is this how it's going to go, like, the entire movie? And I was right. I mean, like, it is how it goes the entire movie. And I thought that aspect of telling the story in that manner made it drag to me. Like, there were points where I was like, I'm still into the story, but at this point you keep introducing elements that are like, oh, and then all of a sudden we're back to someone's start of the day, and I was like, too many times that happened, and I just was like, I don't like that. Like, but I mean, I could see many people liking that. I just personally didn't like it. Yeah, I think it's a solid story. I think the pacing is a little off, which made it drag to me. There are some things that play for just laughs that work, and then there are a couple things that I just didn't think worked when you're playing for laughs. Also, and not that I went into this movie thinking this was a real story or whatever, but like, I don't like it when movies and their trailers are like, this is a real story. And you're stating what this is, and you're stating what's going to happen, and then you kind of veer from that. And it's like, that's just weird to me. Like, I guess now stating in a movie that this was a real story or whatever just means nothing. Not that it ever meant anything truly, but I guess now when you hear it, you never know if that's just the movie effing with you. Like, which is just lazy writing to me.
How do you know it's not a real story, Todd?
They did say they covered it up.
That's true, yeah. The police and everyone in that town, sure, covered up a lot of death.
Ashamed of it.
A lot of mysterious death. So, yeah, I mean, I think this is a good movie. Like, I have some problems with it, but I thought it... well, part of it was myself. I was really excited about this movie, and I always do this to myself, where I get really excited. I love the Barbarian. I mean, this one follows Barbarian as just as like a super unique story. But I felt like the uniqueness that made Barbarian, they explained that more. Like, this one, there wasn't too much explanation, and that works a lot of times, but I felt, for this movie, it didn't work as well as it could have. So, it's going to get a good review. It just could have been better. I think if it tightened up a little bit, and it wasn't 2 hours, it was more like 140, then I think I would have liked it better. But I'm still going to land on a good movie, and I definitely will land on, if you're interested in seeing this at all, you should definitely see it in theaters. I mean, it is definitely a theater movie to me. There are a lot of visuals. There's also, like, a lot of sound that goes well with the movie that is, you're going to get crispness in the theater. You're not going to get that at home, I guess, unless you have a great home theater system. So, yes, if you were going to see this movie, I say see it in theaters. If you were just like, should I see this movie? I say go ahead. Make the decision yourself. How did you feel about it, Tim?
Well, Todd, as you said, you could see some people like it, some people don't. I am definitely in the like it category. I was fascinated the whole time by this movie, and I don't mind the old, different characters' storytelling viewpoint. Yes, it is where you get the big reveal of something, or you get a nugget that's really tempting, and then you go back to the beginning, and that can be frustrating. But for me, it was like, oh, okay, all right, let's see what's happening here. So like that drew me in, because it's like I like that, because you don't want it. It's like you're at a buffet, and but some of the other meals haven't come out yet, and so they haven't given you everything. So it worked for me. So that didn't bother me at all. I agree with the use of music, sound, tension. I thought this is a great movie for tension. The whole time, because it's about missing kids, it's unsettling in a good way, in a good movie way, where you're just, the whole time you're like, something creepy and weird is going on here, but I want to know what. And I also felt like they did a good job, for the most part, making people react more realistically to things than like movie wise, if that makes sense. Like there weren't like movie Hollywood style reactions to things. People kind of were like freaking out about things or questioning what the heck was going on in a way that I think people would. And I don't know, I thought, it was really interesting, and I do agree the acting was pretty solid. I thought Julia Garner was really good as just a teacher who's been through it, and the whole town is like after her because they think she had something to do with it, and she's just on edge. And Brolin, I thought, did a great job, encapsulating how a parent would react to their kid just vanishing and kind of just being obsessed about it and trying to figure out what happened. I thought all the characters worked, even though clearly the junkie guy was thrown in to be kind of silly to move along the plot forward, and get into situations that not these other characters wouldn't. So he might have been the more contrived of the characters that we saw, but I think it still worked for what they were going for. And like you said, there were some moments of levity thrown in, but not in a like here's a joke way, but just in a kind of the over the topness of this. And I will say, the finale worked for me as well. And the word I would use for it is bonkers, in a good way. It just balls to the wall at the end once all the pieces come together, and it's just like, holy cow, this is crazy. But I was on board for it all. And yes, it kind of ends abruptly and leaves you with that's it. And so it's like, if you want more answers, too bad. But again, that didn't bother me this time. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So we're talking gut reaction here. I really dig this movie, and I think people should see it. Matt?
Well, I agree with a lot of what's been said here. I think the highlight of this movie is the story and the uniqueness of the story. I too liked the individual characters, learning a little bit at each twist and turn. I agree with you also, Todd, that the pacing I thought was a little up and down. I thought it started out very strong. There were some of those individual stories that just had a little bit extra that could have been trimmed out. And then I thought, once you kind of have all the pieces and you kind of know what's going on, until we get to the bonkers conclusion, the absolute end of the movie, which I loved, that setup for that seemed way too long to me. I thought that just the setup for the finale here was too long in my mind. But everything else great. Love the acting, and like I said, the story I think is the star here, telling something that hasn't been told before. I would say go see it too.
Nice.
What?
Well, I do have to just note that one thing that is bothering me that is probably going to grow and grow is just how bad the police work is in this movie. Like, when the people figure it out, you're like, the police didn't figure this out after a month? Like,
I kind of believe that they just were so flummoxed by it and had so much pressure that they're just like, I don't know we don't even know what to do.
Sure, and
they had that scene setting that up with the chief talking to the one cop about it. He seemed like he had already kind of shrugged his shoulders about it. Like,
it's just the way
I'm
they
trying to help
solved
you,
it.
but I don't know what else you want me to say.
Yeah, the way they solved it was, to me, it'd be like, that would be like day one of searching for the kids. Like, I was taken back by it. I was like,
I guess I don't know. I'm not surprised. I think the way that they set up the town to be, and that
Well-
like the obsessive father who can't let it go is the one who.
Yes, I mean, like,
Yeah.
they're painting these, like, it is...
Cops who are totally overwhelmed.
It's told
by
in an
something.
anthology
Yeah.
manner because you're supposed to, like, learn all about these characters by the time everything
to the big one,
converges.
yeah.
And so, like, you know, with the main lady, you know, we see that she's innocent. Why would think she's guilty? But she's also being a very crappy human being, like, and stalking, like, people and stuff like that. Like, I was like, man, you're really painting a picture of, I don't know, of this person I can root for. But that's the point, is that
But
you're
I got
supposed
how
to
she
see.
got there. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, like, you're supposed to see all of it. Like, yes, you're affected by this, but then everything with her, I guess, ex-cop boyfriend or whatever, is that it paints a picture of who she is. She thinks about herself first.
Yes.
All the time.
That scene did make her, save her some
So
time.
in that aspect, great. The cops in this, like, I mean, the character who was a cop, like,
He was kind of incompetent himself.
right.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, like, there's also, like, a scene that goes overnight or whatever, where he's, like, out in his police car, and I'm like, yeah, they have regular check-ins that you just can't disappear for your entire shift and then beyond, not turn in your vehicle and stuff. Like, I was like, this stuff doesn't roll like this. But that's nitpicky. I'll admit it. I will admit it. All right, let's get it going here. How many red wigs would you give this movie? Which plays into a
Yes,
role
it does.
here. So I will also say that they are. I've heard rumors about a prequel about,
One of the main characters.
yes, the red wig. Let's just say that.
I was gonna say that they kind of left it open to have something that explains what happened.
Right.
Why did we get here to the contents of this movie?
Right. So 0 being the worst because then you have no wigs and that's just no fun. 5 being the best because then you have 5 wigs and that's one for every workday.
There
You
go.
know,
Mm.
even though they're all red and
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
You don't have to wear them all out.
Get some use out of them.
Matt,
Well, I'm going to go with 4 red wigs out of 5. I thought this movie was a pleasant journey. I had some nitpicks with it, but overall, I think the story carries the day for me, and my experience was good. And so, 4 out of 5.
Tim.
I am right there behind you. I'm at a 3.9. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I mean, it leaves some things unanswered, but that's okay. And yeah, I'll agree with the pacing a little bit because some of the, even though I like the anthology style storytelling, it did take us back a little far on a couple of them. Like, okay, got it.
Well, we
yeah.
relived the same events several times, and I get it. You're seeing
I
from
don't
the
mind
other
different
person's
angles of the
perspectives,
events,
but
right,
I'm
yeah.
like,
But a
nothing
couple-
changed in those scenes.
Right, a couple
so-
of them were like things we don't need to reveal because there's nothing big in that scene that is added by the other side of it.
Right, if there were things you were supposed to catch that, like, maybe
Yes.
things were a little different depending on the person's perspective. Like, I
Right.
think scenes played out a little differently based off of whose
Yes.
story it was.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
they were not the same, essentially, but they weren't
Right.
that different.
Yes, yeah.
And I don't know if that's just bad writing or if that's just saying your perspective retelling events is always different than someone else.
Which
but
I'm
they
okay
weren't.
with,
They
yeah.
weren't very different.
No,
just
they
were
weren't all
like-
that different. Yeah. Just different motivation, I guess. Yeah.
So-
So 3.9 for me.
Nice. I'm not too far off. I mean, I did enjoy this movie. I say go see it. I can definitely see this is the type of movie that, like, upon watching it, like, a second or third time, like,
Yeah.
a lot of things will, like, probably dawn on me, and I'll be like, I really think this will be a one that grows on me over
I
time.
can see that. Yeah.
Kind of like the movie that has grown on me the most, I think, that we've reviewed and I've really come to enjoy is Dr. Sleep.
Oh.
I don't know why. Like, I still don't think it's that great of a movie, but I've come to, like, really enjoy it
I was gonna
in
say,
times that I've caught it.
I think the hallmark of a good movie like this, where there's a reveal or a twist or a revelation, is that you can watch it after knowing it
Right.
and still appreciate it. And there are quite a few movies that do that. And I think I would hope, now we don't know yet, obviously, because it's got reaction, but that this will be one of those.
Yeah. So I'm learning on, like, I'm at a 3.4. I had a good time. Some nitpicky things, some things I didn't like. definitely the pacing. I mean, by the time we got to the 6th story, I was like, let's wrap this up. Like,
Yeah.
I just want to know at this
Yeah,
point. Like,
that's fair.
you're
Like,
teasing
enough
too
nuggets to
much.
tease.
Yeah, you are teasing too much. Now it's frustrating. But and I'll say this: I thought there were some deliciously creepy scenes.
Yes, I
and
agree
there
with
was
that.
certainly a super suspenseful scene that I could not squirming in my seat
Yeah.
with the woman in the scissors.
Yes.
Like,
Oh god,
oof.
that was really well done. Yeah.
So, yes.
All right. Any last thoughts about weapons?
Keep supporting inventive movies like this.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll get more of them.
It is strange to think that the
This did
strong
really well. This did really well, I
similarities between this movie and Barbarian, just in the sense like
Same director, same writer. So.
right, just in the sense of like both have endings that just go all out. Like you're like,
I kinda like
for
that.
Barbarian,
Yeah.
you're like, how did we get here? Like everything was secret about this thing, and now we're
Yeah.
like wildly in the streets and stuff like that. It just goes off the rails.
And this was bonkers as well.
Yeah.
In a great way. I kind of loved it.
So
Yeah, great. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Matt and Todd Go to the Movies, where we review the movie Weapons, and we gave it an average rating of 3.76666
Strong.
repeating red wigs out of 5, which is very good. It's one of our highest scores to date, and this year. And yeah, so go see it, we say. And we also say thank you for listening to our podcast. Please continue to do that, to like our episodes, subscribe, download everything, all the things, all the time. And we will see you next time.
da 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 da
Da da
da da da.
da da da.